Hi, I'm Jezzamine Wolk with Campus Reform, and today we're joined by Luis Parrales from the American Enterprise Institute, and he's here to tell us all about their summer program. Welcome, Luis.
Jezzamine, thanks so much for taking the time.
We're so excited to have you. So why don't you just give us a brief overview of the Summer Honors Program?
Of course. So let me start out by mentioning a little bit about AEI for any students that are listening that don't know about it. So we're a policy-based think tank, policy think tank based in Washington, D.C., focusing on everything from economic policy, foreign defense policy, domestic policy issues. We have a new division on social, cultural, and constitutional issues. So our scholars cover a wide array of areas of scholarship, but I think are ultimately connected by a commitment to defending human dignity, expanding human potential, building a freer and safer world, and really making the competition of ideas thrive in our society. That's the same ethos that we tried to infuse into our summer honors program. So to talk a little bit about that, it's basically a series of week-long courses throughout the month of June that we make available to undergraduates. Basically, undergraduates participate in a 3-hour seminar with an AEI scholar or affiliated faculty member on topics ranging from constitutional law to K-12 education to Middle East policy, and then supplement that with various career development and professional development opportunities, as well as lunch and dinner policy briefings on topics that may not necessarily relate to the class that students are taking. So, for example, someone taking John Yu's constitutional law class will hear about, trade policy from our econ scholar, Mike Strain, or from US-China competition from our China scholar, Dan Blumenthal. So it really gives students a full breadth of kind of what a think tank is and what our scholars study.
And how long have you guys been doing this summer honors program?
It's been a while, so it's changed its name, it's changed its duration, but for around 10 years now, we've had some form of bringing students to the think tank. We like to joke that AEI is sort of a university without students, except for during the summer honors program when we bring students to the think tank. And yeah, I'll also mention that while most of our classes are week long, and that's been going on for around 5 years at this point, we do have an additional program called the Summer Honors Academy. So for students that want to spend a longer amount of time at AEI, we have this program that lasts 5 weeks. Basically, students take an introductory course for 2 days, and then select one of the courses that we offer throughout the subsequent 4 weeks of the program for a 4.5-week experience.
That's awesome. And am I getting this right that you participated in this program yourself in 2016?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So back in a long time ago in 2017, I took Charles Murray's class on the building blocks of human flourishing, which was a great experience. I mean, I think he's emblematic of what we try to do with the program, which is bringing in a scholar who has clearly had a renowned and super interesting career, but who's also really interested in engaging with students and students from a variety of perspectives. We have students that represent pretty much all angles of the ideological spectrum. That's something that we're really excited by. And yeah, I mean, it was great to think about issues of the bifurcation of American society, thinking about kind of issues, big questions about the proper role of government alongside him.
Yeah. And as an alum, what would you say was the biggest benefit or takeaway from this program?
For students that are really interested in potentially working in the DC public policy scene, I'll answer first with that, and then one other thing. It's a good introduction to kind of knowing, who are some of the scholars that are writing right now, the commentators that are producing interesting research. So in that sense, in terms of exposure, that's one of the biggest benefits that I think the program offers. I'll also say, though, that I made some great friendships through the program, people that I'm still in touch with now, people that are, I'm able to pick their brains about, some of the issues that I care most about. Some are colleagues at AEI. So it's really is a good way of building a community of people that are committed to what I mentioned before, right? Defending human dignity, expanding human potential, and doing so with a spirit of, an appreciation for open debate and civil dialogue, which I think is really important.
Yeah. And Do you guys ever adjust your courses per year based off of the current political climate, or does it pretty much stay the same?
We've had a lot of the same courses over the past 5 years. And I think it's, in part because we're interested in having conversations that are maybe focused more on the long-term public policy conversations and less on kind of day-to-day politics. So, an issue like U.S.-China relations is going to still be in our minds next year, right? An issue like, the importance of the principles of democratic capitalism, we're still going to be talking about these things next year. And so we've had courses on those topics for a bit now. But we do add courses based on student feedback. After getting feedback from students, we added a course on K-12 education. We recently added a course on, it's titled Freedom, Progress, and Tradition, taught by Yuval Levin, who's the director of our Social, Culture, and Constitutional Studies division, a more political philosophy-oriented class that we got both from feedback from students, but also just because we want to reach more and more students. So less so on kind of day-to-day politics, but more on, us wanting to reach more students.
Okay. And you mentioned that this is open to students of all political ideologies, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. So what kind of students are you looking for this program in general?
Of course. So I'll mention that, we're really interested in students that want to have conversations about public policy and that enjoy having those conversations with people that disagree with them. So if you're really passionate about, econ policy, we definitely encourage you to apply to the program and to do so by highlighting. We try to place students in courses where they have most background or experience, either in the classes that they've taken or in their independent studies or reading. And so I encourage that student particularly to check out our class on democratic capitalism, principles and practices with Mike Strain. If what you're most interested in is Middle East policy, we have a class on that as well, and I'd encourage that student to highlight those interests in their application. But the main thing that we're hoping for is, it doesn't matter whether you're a freshman or a senior. We accept applications from all undergraduates. It doesn't matter whether you lean right on left, but if you're interested in public policy and you're interested in having those conversations with people that disagree with them, and you're interested in learning more about the broader DC public policy scene, I think the Summer Honors Program could offer a lot.
Awesome. And I guess just in closing, when do they have to apply by and where do they apply?
Yes. So if you go to AEI.org, you'll see a tab at the top that says for students, and you'll be able to find our programs, all the programs that we offer for students, including the Summer Honors Program. We have an early decision deadline coming up on January 4th. So hopefully, if students are listening to this during the break, they can apply for that. And if they do so, they hear back from us in early February. We also have a final decision deadline on March 1st.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Luis. It was so nice talking to you.
Thank you, Jezzamine.